Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the West Pro Series running of the competition Diecast Grand National Series Round 9, coming to you from Kansas Motor Speedway. Welcome, everybody, and we'll get right to it, play our national anthem, then we'll give you the grid and everything. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, welcome to Kansas Motor Speedway and the running of the competition Diecast Grand National Series. With me tonight is our fearless producer Matt Weisbrook, and alongside me in the commentating booth, Ian Adams. Ian, welcome to the booth.
Thank you, Mom. I'm happy to be here. First time calling the National Series with you, so hopefully we get a good race tonight.
Indeed, I think we're going to have a good race, and we're here at Kansas Motor Speedway for round 9. Taking a look at what happened last week real quick at Martinsville. It was kind of a calamity as Ben Kilcrease, man, it's not a good night. It is not a good night. Ben Kilcrease finished wire to wire, as my producer is laughing in my ear, all right. Ben Kilcrease won that one from wire to wire. I believe it's his first win for the Grand National Series, and it's going to be his, I think, if my producer will tell me otherwise, I think it's going to be his first no bull win also. Isn't that right, Matt? Oh, I got that one right. Taking a look at points here, Brian Terry leads everybody with 302 points. David Forsch is 33 points back of him, and 35 points is Dylan Lee. Carl Brown is 48 points, and rounding out the top 5, last week's winner, Ben Kilcrease, runs up two spots on that list with 48 points. Kind of a long shot right now as we're almost at the near of this, Ian. I would probably suggest maybe the top 3 have a chance at Terry here, David Forsch and Dylan Lee.
Yeah, I think if those two can get some good runs, and maybe if Brian has a little misfortune, they might have a good shot at it. But I think if Brian can get some good runs down here, you shouldn't have any issue pulling the championship.
And that's the key. If Brian wants to run away from this, all he has to do is just run the races. It's up to the other two to win those. Let's take a look at qualifying here, and our own Dylan Lee will lead them off the line with a 30.7. Running close to him was David Ford, Brian Terry's position.
Starting third on the grid, we got Pete Zeller in that number 24 car, and outside of him, Mitch Lennon.
And then we got Brian Terry, our points leader, in the 5th position. And 6th is our Randy Hidrick, who we always like to keep an eyeball on that guy.
Starting 7th tonight's Noble Network 1's very own Andy Kessler. And to the outside of him, Carl Brown.
Kind of a small field here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, but nevertheless, it's always action-packed when you're here watching the West Pro Series along with us. Once again, thank you for joining us here at Kansas Motor Speedway, and we hope tonight is going to be a great night filled with some great racing and great action. Ian, what can we expect from here at Kansas?
Well, Mylon, we're going to see a lot of high speeds with the banking and the new repave they've done here. A lot of grip you can get out of these cars, a lot of speed. And probably see some good fighting up front, good fighting in the middle of the pack, just a lot of good battles, a lot of good speed, and we'll see what we can get out of it.
What about tires? It's a new track and everything, new surface. You think tires are going to go away, or we're just looking for fuel mileage runs here?
I think it's going to be more fuel. Tires don't seem to be that much of an issue, maybe a little bit of right rear.
And looking through the field here, ladies and gentlemen, as they come down the green, we got to remind everybody that our in-race reporter tonight will be David Force, as they are about to get the green flag here. Green flag waves in the air, and Dylan Lee will lead them across the line here, as they're all coming up to speed here, going into turn 1. Still in the lead, followed closely by Pete Zeller. You'll remember Pete, he is our pit road reporter here on Noble Network 1. Going into turn 3 right now, kind of he's trying to go single file here, Ian.
Yeah, it's early race, lap race, just kind of get it all settled down early. Don't want to take yourself out, getting caught up in the wreck. Just run it out, get to that halfway point, then go for it.
On the top line, though, it looks like David Fierce is trying to get by Pete Zeller here. He does, coming down the back stretch, that 55 looking stout as he goes after Dylan Lee going into turn 3.
Yeah, one of the few tracks on the circuit that can actually make that top line work. You don't see that very often with these cars, but here's one of the tracks that you can get the momentum. If you can get that momentum wound up, you can get to the outside there and get a good run.
And indeed, that's true, Ian. And it looked like through practice tonight, everybody was using the middle lanes, not really down there at the bottom whatsoever. It looked like the higher up you went, the faster you go.
Seems to be what I'm seeing right now as we look at the leader. Dylan Lee, he's running either right on that white dotted line or just right above, or mid lane, I should say. Sorry, not right on the white dotted line, but right on the white stripes there or just above them. As now they go side by side for the lead.
Oh, Force is going to try this up high again, as he did with Pete. He's going to be unsuccessful, though, coming out of turn 2. It looks like Dylan has still got the upper hand, as the top 3 are neck to neck, and then we got a second pack right behind them, being led by Mitch. Going down to turn 3 right now. The 55 is going by the 20. He's going by the 20, and he's going to have it. Pete's going to take it Dylan Lee up top. Let's see what happens here. Going to the trial, we're going to go 3 wide here, 3 wide. Big Ziller wisely gets out of that gas, doesn't want to go 3 wide in turn 1, as Ryan Terry's in the wall back there.
Yeah, Mile, I think what happened there is a couple guys got checked up, and everybody just needs to settle down at this point, get back in the straight line, and not get caught up in anything. Only 5 laps into it, it's a long race. Not the time to be racing like that.
David Force, our second place in the points lead, does in fact take over the top spot here in the race, followed by Dylan Lee and Pete Zeller. Pete, by the way, said he didn't want to be the pit road reporter tonight. He said he'd been practicing, had a very stout car, and he said he wanted to do some good here. He thought he could actually win this event. Doesn't look so good for him right now, as Ryan Terry's taking a look to the inside, takes it away from me as they come out of turn 4, headed to the trial.
And you see through turns 1 and 2 there, Dylan able to get a bit of a pull on Porsche, but it looks like through the second half of those corners, David just gets a huge run up and off, and he gets that big gap open back up. Don't think Dylan's arcing it enough right now. I think he needs to maybe arc it a little bit later into the corners, hit that apex later.
And we got quite a battle for third place back behind them area. Ryan Terry is just not having the greatest night of his life as he's getting sandwiched and slung up in that wall, but he does take over third from Pete. And here comes Mitch Linehan up top. 3 wide, coming down the backstretch. Mitch Lennon going into the wall right there is going to let Carl Brown go down. Now we're side by side going into 3. Well, that was pretty close as Pete Zeller got off of turn 4, came right up in front of Brian. Brian's going to try it again coming into turn 1. Let's see if he can pull it off here. He's coming, he just can't get the power coming off that low line there, Ian. It's got to be the top groove.
Yeah, you get that, like I said, you get the momentum run up there, and I got pretty close right there between Brian Terry and Mitch Lynn. I think they might have touched, actually, but as I was saying, that momentum gets thrown up there on the top line, and you just go off the corner, and I don't think that inside line is making up for it tonight.
And I think the way they're running right now, it looks like Brian Terry's just taking his time. He knows the points is his. Oh, he gets in the wall a little bit there. Wall, once again, I think that's got to be at least the second time that he's gotten in the wall tonight. Things aren't going too well for Terry's camp. As we go back up to the lead here, Porsche is still leading over Dylan Lee by about under a second here as they come through the tri-oval. Dylan Lee comes in second, Pete Zeller in third, Brian Terry in fourth. In fifth place is Carl Brown, sixth place is Mitch Lennon, and running in seventh is Andy Kessler. Dylan Lee looks like he's going to try again for David Force going into turn 1. 20 is getting on the back end, trying to get him a little loose, trying to get him a little arrow loose so he can make the pass here. As they get down the backstretch, David Force is still leading him, about 1 or 2 car lengths going in here. It looks like at least Dylan can get into that corner. It looks like David Force can get off a lot faster than Dylan can at this point here as they come into the tri-oval. Ian, when can we expect a fuel stop or maybe a tire change here in Kansas?
Looking like, from what we've been seeing here, about 13, 14 more laps these guys should be able to go, so we're about halfway through the fuel run already. Should be seeing these guys hit pit lane, maybe getting fuel, maybe getting the right side going, depending on how they're feeling the tires out, so I have to see how that works out.
You got to switch for third place here as Mitch Lennon takes it over from Pete Zeller back there. Brian Terry is still biding his time back in fifth place. I think he's probably just going to do some points racing. Maybe not. He's getting up on Pete Zeller coming down the backstretch. Looks like he's going to take this one. And indeed, Brian Terry takes over the fourth spot away from Pete Zeller as they come through the tri-oval there.
Yeah, Marlon, as you were watching that battle and watching this battle for the lead, Dylan Lee is there. He is on the back bumper of that number 55 car. He is trying everything to get by, but like I said, he seems to be running in just a little bit too low on entry. Can't quite get the car up out of the corner, and off goes the 55 again.
Indeed it does. It looks like the 55 can get off that corner a little bit better than the 20 can at this point. Coming down to the tri-oval once again, 65, leading Dylan Lee by under a second. Back from them, though, from third on back is a second wide, as these two seem to be putting kind of a lead on the rest of the group.
Yeah, Dylan Lee and David Porsche definitely the class of the field at the moment. They've put almost a second and a half over Mitch Lennon. And to see if these guys can't open it up a little bit further, maybe get a little bit of wiggle room to battle with.
Taking a look back here in the back of this pack, man, this battle for fourth place keeps bouncing back and forth between Terry and Zeller. Zeller and Terry, right now, they both look like they're equal as they're going into turn 1, both riding high, probably at this time just letting it all just relaxing here for the most part, get to that pit stop, maybe make a little repair. As we know, Brian Terry's been on the wall at least twice during this race. Looks like Zeller's. Oh, sorry about that, folks. Producer in my ear, can't think. Back up front, though, it's still David Forsch, followed by Dylan Lee coming into the tri-oval. Mitch Lennon looks like he's maybe just sitting there and waiting, Ian.
Yeah, Mitch seems to be biding his time, but as we look back here now to the 5th place battle, Brian Terry has fallen into the clutches of Carl Brown. Carl Brown looking in that 41 car to try and bump up into the top 5, maybe get some points back. Try and get up into that points battle. The 3 guys up front have a little bit of misfortune.
Indeed, it does. It looks like Brian Terry's probably, like I said, just riding it out as Carl is getting closer and closer to him at this point. Up front, though, it's a battle for the lead as Dylan Lee takes over the top position away from that 55. That 55 has got a run going on down the backstretch, and here comes Mitch Lennon to join in on this party there, Ian.
Yeah, and that's how it seems to go with these cars. You get a little bit of that, a little bit off your line, a little bit of momentum, and the cars that seem to have fallen back are right there. As now Mitch Lennon looks to the outside of the 55 here down the front straightaway. Side by side of the line, they almost touch. Going to be
getting a little side draft, and Dylan Lee, Ian, gets up in front of him to block him a little bit, but looks like Mitch is going to run. He's into the wall too. As that's going to slow up his progress considerably. Looks like he bounced off the wall a second time there as Dylan Lee and David Forsch continue to battle for first. He was going to take that top spot, but kind of grazed in the wall there, driving down his speed a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what he was thinking there. I think he just don't know why this earlier, this close to the top, so he was driving it that hard. Kind of a strange circumstance.
Here comes Mitch Lennon again. He's going to try it again, and this time it looks like he's going to take these two down low as he gets around the 55, and his next position is for that 20. Pit stops the 20. It looks like all 3 of them are going to hit the pit road here.
Mylon, as you're watching those 3, Zeller, Pete Zeller, he stayed out, followed it. Carl Brown and Brian Terry stayed out with him. So we'll have to see how this cycles back out.
Well, they came down that pit road pretty fast, Ian. I wouldn't be surprised if at least Mitch Lennon has got a pit road penalty. That was quick coming down that road. Mitch Lennon coming off of pit road here with a 2-tire pit stop as, whoa! You got cars sliding all the way back behind them. Pete Zeller was coming on, then Carl Brown, and it looked like Brian Terry was going around here at pit road. Not good. That's gonna kind of slow their pit stops here.
Well, that I saw it there.
I'm going to go to the replay here, folks. Sorry about that, Ian, and see what happened. When I turned on that camera, they were all fighting down here. And taking a look at the camera right now as they're coming down. Oh, it looked like Carl Brown came across the hood, if I'm right, came across the hood of Brian Terry there coming in the bids, Ian.
Yeah, that's what I saw, but fortunately for Brian Terry, he was the worst end of that, getting caught sideways, and looked like the 41 Carl Brown was able to save that thing and at least salvage a decent pit stop out of it. So
here we go, in-car camera. We're going to see it up close here. Indeed, it looked like he tapped him just a little bit down that left rear quarter panel, just enough to send him around like that. Taking a look elsewhere, the battle's going around the track for 5th place. Carl Brown and Pete Zeller are fighting side by side. Andy Kessler joining this battle here. Coming into it, back behind them is Brian Terry. It's not a good night for our points leader there, Ian.
Nah, he's been having some problems keeping the thing off the wall, and then that last pit stop when he got turned around didn't help him at all. So he's definitely fighting from behind, but still a lot of race left. Definitely time to get back into this thing. The one thing I was watching though is up at the front here. Thought Mitch Lennon was going to maybe get tagged with a speeding penalty on pit road. There was not. And he only took 2 tires. Dylan Lee now 6 seconds behind him. I'm not sure if Dylan's catching up or not. We're going to have to keep an eye on the times there, see if he's closing at all.
Two tires. It might hurt Mitch Lennon, and it might not. That's 6 seconds is an eternity trying to overtake here. And it does look like the top 3 are separated by quite a bit here. Take a look at the back of the pack, though. It looks like Pete Zeller was able to overcome Carl Brown, and Brian Terry has gotten around Carl Brown at least for this amount of time. It looks like maybe Brian Terry's going to try to get the win, but maybe have a good points night at least.
Yeah, at this point, you got to think Brian's hoping for a caution, bunch these guys back up. Just not really a good night for him. If he stays where he is, it's not going to be too bad of a points night, but still, rather be up front.
And we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about our noble Network 1 Commander-in-Chief, Andy Kessler, out there in 7th place. He's still running around here in the 84. God bless his heart. Up front, though, it continues to be Mitch Lennon, followed by Dylan Lee. In 3rd place, David Forsch. 4th is going to be Pete Zeller. 5th is Brian Terry. 6th, Carl Brown. And 7th is going to be Andy Kessler. This is, right now, between 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, there is a considerable distance between 1st and 2nd. But it looks like Dylan Lee is trying to put some time against him and David Forsch.
Yeah, Mon, I think right now what Dylan's strategy is here is maybe see if he can't ride out this run on the 4 tires. Maybe get in next time, knowing Mitch has to take the 4 to get those left sides off. And hope maybe he can either take 2 or take none at all and get back out there and regain that lead.
Well, you know, as a driver there, and when you do this kind of thing, and there might not be a yellow flag, aren't you putting maybe your final laps at risk by doing this? Because you know the other guys can come in for a 2 tires, but you're going to come in for a 4 tire stop here.
Well, I think at this point in the race, we got at least 2 pit stops left. I think it's going to be this is the time if you're going to make an experiment of it, do it now. And I think the real situation here was that Mitch made the experiment and he proved it would work. The question is now who's going to follow suit, because a lot of these guys in the back took 4, or the guys that came in behind them took 4. Mitch was going to take 2, he's able to stay out in front. May have just done the experiment for everybody else as well, and now everybody doesn't have to worry about it.
And looking back at 5th place, Brian Terry looked like he grazed the wall coming out of turn 2 yet again. Not a good night for Brian. Usually he's up further up this. It just might be the car, it might be the track. It just might not be it might be a matter of things. But this appears to be the only battle on the track right now. There are sports fans between him and Carl Brown in the number 41. Brian Terry got sideways there a little bit, able to straighten her out here. Here comes Carl Brown on the attack on the high side, going into turn 3 right there. Man, it looks like Brian Terry's got a problem there.
Yeah, that thing has just suddenly gone snap loose. I'm not sure if maybe when he smacked the wall, it might have broke something, or what happened there, but he is definitely fighting that car all of a sudden, getting off into these corners. Not sure if we'll see him drop off pace, but he seems to be closing back up now, so I'm not sure if maybe it wasn't just something he adjusted in the car real quick and went back on.
Well, let me ask you this question. We've been watching him drive that high line right up there against the wall. Do you think he got into the pebbles a little bit, kind of got some dirt on those tires?
He might have, Mylan, and yeah, I don't know if it's so much him as everybody now. I was watching the battle for second there between Porsche and Lee, and Dylan just nearly lost it up there on the high side as well. So I think maybe as the track moves in, we might be looking more at going to the low side here to try and see exactly where we're at.
Indeed, and you may or may not be correct here, but it appears to be that way. Some cars are getting loose, and it might be that those cars that are getting loose, the wave might be turning. In other words, as those cars that would look like appear to be tight during the race might have the upper hand here at this point.
And the thing I'm noticing here, Mylon, as I look at the times, and I'm noticing Mitch Lennon out front there, he only took 2 tires on the pit stop. Normally that'll tighten the car up, and he is stepping out now. He's gained almost 2 seconds on what he had after the pit stops. So that may be the decision right there. It's just go for 2 and tighten that thing up a little bit.
And that indeed it is. As we continue to watch this battle for second place here, Mitch Lennon is leading this entire grid by 8.1 seconds. A tremendous lead at this point in the game.
Yeah, last thing Mitch would want to see at this point is a caution.
Taking a look back here at 5th and 6th, while those guys do battle for second place. Looks like Brian Terry and Carl Brown are still going at it as they swap spots back and forth. It looks like Terry has adjusted his line a little bit lower off that wall.
Yeah, I've been noticing the guys that were losing the car earlier in the run, not so much earlier in the run, but a few laps ago, moved down a couple lines either to the mid line or all the way down to that bottom line, and seems to be suiting the cars a little bit better here.
Indeed, taking a look back up to second place here, David Forsch in the 55 is able to separate himself from Dylan Lee by a couple of cars. I would say maybe even more than a couple, maybe about 5 cars at this point in, and is looking at setting his sights on Mitch Lennon and trying to get down an 8.2 second deficit right here in this race.
Yeah, Marlon, but that time at the line, he still lost another 10th to Mitch there, and I just don't think anybody has anything for this 36 car until we see another round of pit stops.
2 tires, and he's running up on top of this lane. I mean, this is a tremendous race that he's racing. The line he's taking around here is right up near that wall. We've seen a couple of cars here tonight run into that wall, kind of like Darlington, put the Darlington stripe on their car. It's just amazing. Taking a look at him coming off at turn 2, he's just right up against that wall.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of the corner there. I was watching, and I swear I thought he was going to smack the wall. He was just that close to it. I don't know how he got through that corner without getting himself up into it.
Yeah, he's able to keep his engine wound up there more or less on the high side as his lead increases there at this point at about 8.4 over David Forsch, who's running in second. Dylan Lee's in third. Pete Zeller's in fourth, followed by Brian Terry. Andy Kessler is now 6th, and Carl Brown is a lap down at this point. We don't know what happened about that. He looked like he got in the pits for some reason here, and once we get that information, we'll get it back to you. Going past halfway, folks, here at Kansas City Speedway. We're happy to have you along for the competition Diecast running Grand National Series here on Noble Network 1, the West Pro Series, along for the ride. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back to this running at Kansas Speedway right after a few bills we need to pay.
Does a real race car have a center post? Of course not, and neither should your race rig. The R-Seat Evo V3 with its unique design has no center post. The R-Seat Evo replicates what you would be accustomed to in your daily driver or something you may take to the track. It can accommodate drivers from 4'11" up to over 6'6" tall and is pre-drilled for all of the major wheel manufacturers on the market today. When it comes to performance, look no further than the R-Seat Evo V3. Check out the R-Seat Evo and other sim racing equipment by heading to www.rseat.net.
Well, welcome back to the Kansas Speedway. I don't know why I keep wanting to call this place Kansas Motor Speedway. It has no relationship to those guys whatsoever. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We had some pits done here. Our leader, Mitch Linden, came in, and so did Dylan Lee. Both got 2 tire changes. Ian's other guys came in through also?
A couple other guys have been down so far right now. Pete Zeller, who was the leader at the time, he's coming down right now, hitting his box. So far what we've been seeing is everybody's been taking 2. We'll have to see if he sticks to the trends. We got Carl Brown. He came in early trying to get a jump on the pit stop, so we'll have to see if that works out for him or not. As Pete and Brian both come down, both of them took 2. No, sorry, Pete took 2. Brian Terry took 4 tires there that time.
And if I'm correct in my assumption, Andy Kessler would be our leader, and he's coming down pit road right now, Ian.
Andy just now coming down pit road, so that should cycle the lead back to Mitch Lennon. Have to see if Dylan Lee was able to pick anything up over that pit stop. Looked like he had a quick one. Pretty sure Andy will come down in here, probably get 4 fuel and head back out. He might take 2 tires. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
It looked like Dylan Lee was able to cut that time by a few seconds. Mitch Lennon now leading him by, it looks like, if scoring is correct, about 5 seconds there, Ian. And our very own Andy Kessler is going to be the last one to round out our pit stops, taking on fuel and 4 tires as he comes out the pits, and is probably going to go a lap down to Mitch Lennon here, who's coming into turn 1. He scraping the wall coming out of turn 2. He's up there against that wall, Ian.
Yeah, this is the line we've been seeing him run all night, and I'm not sure if those left side tires aren't starting to give out on him a little bit. That's 2 stints now he's been on them, and not sure they're going to hold up this whole race. As we are already 50 laps in, we're going to have probably 1 more pit stop unless we see some fuel saving going on. As looking back behind him now, Zeller and Lee are going at it for 2nd place right now, Mylon.
And back behind them, David Force and Andy. Or I'm sorry, Andy's a lap down here. David Force looks like he's going to try to get around Andy here and get up to that battle between Lee and Zeller. Zeller getting around Lee there at that point there, Ian.
Yeah, and it looked like he just got the draft down the back straightaway, pulled right around him, and Dylan didn't have the line going into the corner he wanted. So at this point, looks like we're going to bump Pete Zeller up to 2nd. Mitch Lennon's still out front, Dylan Lee to 3rd.
And both hitting the wall simultaneously through that turn. Zeller and Dylan Lee did, coming off of turn 2. Before the race, Pete Zeller was talking about his car and how he had practiced virtually the whole week before this race, and he was amped up for this one. He was trying to tell me that he indeed thought he could win this one.
It looks like at the moment, Mylon, he has the car to do it. He's at least holding pace with Mitch Lennon. If he can get a little break in the next pit stop, maybe be able to run it if we have another one, he might be able to actually win.
Well, the 24 looks like it's cutting down on Mitch. Correct. He might have the car to beat tonight, but he's got to pass that 36, and that 36 has looked stout with the line he's running all night. It doesn't matter if he scrapes the wall or not. It looks like this guy is bulletproof.
Yeah, Mylon, but it seems like as we look at this pack, bulletproof hasn't been the best term to be. tonight. As we look back at the 92 coming in, being our points leader and everything, we probably thought the same of him, and he's sitting back there in 6th now, 21 seconds back, not having the best night. So I don't know who I want to be here. If I want to be Pete trying to run him down, or if I want to be Mitch trying to stay out front.
That's correct. And our assumption is that Brian Terry's not having a great points night, but let's, in all due respects, we've only got 7 cars running here tonight. So in all actuality, he's not going to lose that many points. Getting a report that the number 20 got loose coming out of turn 2. He was able to save it, but he's going slow now. He's letting David Force go by him, and he's settled into 4th and 4th place at this time as he comes down the backstretch. Speaking about the 55 there, Ian, David Force, I should say, he's 2nd place in the points, and he would love to win this one and get this points lead here coming out here. But in particular, they are looking for a sponsorship for Force Motorsports on this 55. So if there's anybody out there, I guess, willing to sponsor David Force, I think he'd be all ears at this point. If you'd like to sponsor the 55, go to the Noble Network 1 or find him on the forums. Drop him a line, and if you drop us a line, we'll ensure it gets to him and get you all the parties together here. Take a look back through the field here. Let's run you real quick. Mitch Lennon still leads this thing by 5 seconds, over 5 seconds from Pete Zeller. Man, it looks like Pete was gaining and then he's losing some, so it's kind of a seesaw battle here. And it looks like he's got about 20 laps. Pete's got about 20 laps, save for any cautions that come out. And I think they got to run through at least one more pit stop, if I'm not correct. And Pete's going to start reeling them in now. Well, it looks like taking a look at the fourth place back there with Dylan Lee, it looked like that spin has done a lot more to his ride. 2 tires probably wasn't the way to go with him earlier as he tried to copy Mitch Lennon, who, by the way, has run the entire race on the same right sides as he started here with.
Yeah, Mylan, it's those left sides have got to be screaming at him, but if they're working for him, I don't see any reason to take him off. Like I said at the beginning of this race, tires not that big of an issue. It's going to be more of a fuel mileage race, and at this point, Mitch is proving my point, staying out there on those left sides all race.
You know what, I just want to give a hand to Andy Kessler here as we're bringing you to these pictures here. We're kind of going back and forth. Andy Kessler, though, he's a lap down, but, you know, he's keeping up with David Force. And, you know, we're always joking about Andy and how he's the venerable back marker. But you know what? I have to give him props. I'm going to do it right now, Andy. You have gotten better than me, my friend, and I'm amazed and I am downright jealous. Back up to the front here, Mitch Lennon still leads here in Kansas. He's increasing his lead to 5.6 over Pete Zeller at this point. David Forsch is in 3rd, Dylan Lee's in 4th, Brian Terry's in 5th. Carl Brown and Andy desperately need maybe a caution here. Carl is fighting for that lucky dog spot. Andy will probably more or less stay out, trying to get on the lead lap. and
Yeah.
do this, try to make a comeback here. But man, this is a drastic contrast coming from Martinsville, which we had a lot of accidents, to here in Kansas, where we haven't had a single yellow.
Come on, and it's just the type of track we're at, and probably the size of the field. I wasn't here for last week, so I didn't know. But Martinsville, much smaller track, much easier to get caught up with somebody. But here, you got a lot of space to work and a lot of racing room. Easy to kind of save it, maybe not get spun around, and with a smaller pack like this, it's not that hard to stay green the whole way.
Carl Brown looking like he's going to be in danger of going 2 laps down now at this point, as Mitch Lennon is coming after him aggressively, coming out of turn 3 here, ladies and gentlemen. This is a schooling brought on by Mitch Lennon, as he's trouncing this field.
Yeah, Marlon, as you were talking about Mitch and Carl there, Brian Terry and Andy Kessler coming down pit road, both getting fuel and heading back out.
Also, Ian, we got the number 20 coming down pit road. Be surprising to see how many tires he's going to take. I would have to guess maybe 4. I would say 4 for that kind of fumble he did up there in that turn. And Dinley is going to indeed take 4 tires, as Mitch Lennon continues leading this field here in Kansas. Oh, and leader is coming down pit road right now, Ian.
Yeah, Marlon, this looking at it here, this should be the final pit stop. Don't want to mess anything up here, as he's going to take 4 this time, and that could be it. Oh wait, sorry, excuse me, I was looking at the wrong car. 55, Dave Ford, he's going to take 4 tires.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you. 24 is in the wall. Kind of scraped that wall coming out of turn 2. Sorry about that, Ian. But our leader right now, Pete Zeller, has got to do something if he wants to take this away from Mitch Lennon here. Getting word from pit road that Mitch Lennon just took gas. Is that correct there, Ian?
Yeah, just watched it. He came down, stopped at the stall, put a splash in, just got a little bit of gas there, just enough to make the finish, and he's back out. I don't know. He's definitely stretching the life of those left sides, but those right sides that he had on there, they're definitely going to be down, and I'm not sure what Pete's doing. He might be trying to make the rest of this race on fuel.
Could he, in fact, make the rest of this race on fuel? Does he have enough on board to make this around, or is he just out there maybe waiting for a yellow? He's got considerable time against Mitch Lennon, about 26 seconds. Not a lot of time to come into the pits, get service, and stay in the lead, though.
Yeah, but here's the thing. With Pete, I don't remember what his tire strategy was last time. He might not be able to hold that car on these last tires. Never mind, he's coming in now. As that 24 car dives down off the pit road. See if he can't get in, get those tires, get back out, maybe fight with Mitch for this thing. It's definitely going to be close up at the front.
Michelin coming down the backstretch right now and into turn 3. He's taking his high line as he usually does. We'll have to see if Pete Zeller can get out.
Yeah, Pete just hit a stall mile and just a gas and go down here. He's back out, and we'll see if he can't stay out in front or at least stay close.
Mitch takes him down, though, and Pete Zeller, West Pro officials can probably look at him as he came out on the track like he did, not on the backstretch, but right out there off of turn 1. I'm going to guess the West Pro Series officials are going to take a deep, hard look at that exit.
Oh, Marlon, I was just looking at it, and it looked like he just jumped on it real hard and spun the back tires. I don't think he meant to come up on the track like that, but yeah, he just spun the tires, and then when he caught that apron, the transition from the apron up to the banking, I think it just kicked him even more loose, and he nearly lost it up into the outside wall.
Well, whatever the case is right now, Ian, he's got 4 seconds between him and the win, and it'll be kind of interesting to see if he can reel in here Mitch Lennon, as Lennon has practically led this one wire to wire here.
Yeah, at this point now I'm looking at it. He gained a bit last lap. I think he had the car to beat him. Maybe that mistake hadn't happened. He'd be a lot closer right now. Not sure if he has the car to run him all the way down, but we'll have to keep an eye on it.
And we have another battle down here in fourth place between Brian Terry and Dylan Lee. These guys have had virtual. Well, Dylan Lee had a great car, but it looked like that slide kind of did something to the car. And Brian, he really hasn't had any great luck tonight. The car is just not coming to life like he would want it to. They are battling for fourth place as they come down here through the trial. You can see how fast they are, or how close rather they're coming to the wall, as we're in car with Mr. Lee coming through the trial there. Oh, and Brian Terry once again coming smacking that wall coming out of turn 2. Dylan Lee able to take over fourth place. Man, it has been a wall slapper the whole night for our points leader here in the Diecast competition Grand National Series. Brian Terry has been working that wall over.
Yeah, Mylon, but he's not done yet as he looks low now, coming to the inside.
Oh, no! Oh, Dylan Lee hard into the wall. He's keeping it against the wall there, ladies and oh my goodness. It looked like he just
call for a caution either, Mylon.
Wow, no caution out on the track. Oh, that was a hard hit for Dylan Lee as the car just got loose coming in. We're going to watch it here again, ladies and gentlemen. And the yellow flag is indeed out here at Kansas Speedway. And yes, it looks like, yep. Wow. The car got out from underneath of him. It looked like he kind of overcorrected there and just right into the wall.
Yeah, that was not a good hit. He took a heavy hit there into that outside wall. Never something you want to see, but it was good to see him able to steer that thing down to the bottom of the track and get off there. Not the worst situation we could have had, but definitely not the best either. Well, Mylon, we're deep into this thing. Pace car's out on the track. You think we're going to get a lap here?
Well, if I may, I really don't know. Lennon coming down, Pete Zeller might have just won this one with what he just did, ladies and gentlemen, because I really do not believe we're going to be able to go back green here. I could be wrong here, though. I could be wrong, and we could at least have a one-lap dash for it. But if I'm correct, Pete Zeller indeed has won this thing. Mitch Lennon going into the pits like that. That's a shocker here. Recapping here, let's take a look at the field real quick as a run. Pete Zeller is leading this field, followed by David Forsch is in second place here, and we got Andy Kessler, who's a lap down. Brian Terry is going to come in here to the top 3 here, ladies and gentlemen. This is amazing here, Ian. They're coming down here to complete lap 77. Brian Terry's going to head in the pits. They might, you know what? They might have a lap shootout here. They might have a lap shootout here, and lights will have to go out next time around. We're going to look at that closely. But recapping here, this has been a Mitch Linden kind of race. He has raced away with this thing from wire to wire, just putting on a show for everybody. 24 now is in the lead. Pete Zeller, 55 in second place, and Mitch Linden coming back into third place. Man, we're just going to have to keep an eyeball here and see if they aren't going to go back green as they come down here the backstretch into turn 3. Going to keep an eyeball here on the lights on the pace car as they come through the tri-oval here. See if they're going to go out here. Yes, they indeed go out, and we're going to have a 1-lap, 2-lap shootout here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go white and then green, ladies and gentlemen. This green and white at the same time, folks. A 1-lap showdown here. You know what? This is going to be a slobber knocker, Ian. I love to put my good old Jim Ross impersonation on this one. Somebody's going to get hurt here. Pete Zeller looks like he's going to take that top line. 55 is going to start down to his inside. Carl Brown in 4th place, and then Mitch Linden right there in 3rd. Brian Terry is going to be right back behind these guys, but it's going to be interesting to see, folks. You know what? We're going to be right up here with you as they come down here through the tri-oval here and see what's going to happen. As Pete Zeller is going to hit the acceleration, and he is going away on the green flag. Pete Zeller is going to take Mitch Linden's going to take Carl Brown down low. The 55 and coming after the 24. This is going to be a close one. The 24 is going to close the door. The 55 is in the wall. And here comes Mitch Linden down the backstretch. He's coming at full of steam. The 24 to the 36, side by side. Oh, boy.
Wow. Mylan, I couldn't have seen that happen. Mitch Linden takes the 4.
Go, ladies and gentlemen. And he's going to win this one. Whoa.
Fourth to first.
Out of nowhere. Oh, we've got a car into the wall back behind them as they cross the line. But, yeah, Mitch Linden comes out from nowhere all the way back in 3rd place, Ian.
That was, he started 4th down, and that was the decision. He came down at the start of that caution, got 4 tires, and loaded that thing full of fuel, dropped that spoiler down, and just went. I don't think he lifted the whole lap, and that thing stuck everywhere he put it. And somehow ran Pete down there at the end of it. Ends up bringing the win home tonight. Is he's sitting there doing the donuts and backing it into the wall.
That was a tremendous race, ladies and gentlemen. You just saw a schooling by the professor here, Mitch Linden. And you know what? I think I'm going to tag him with that nickname because he had taught everybody how to run here at Kansas Motor Speedway. What a race. He comes home with the win here in Kansas. 2nd place is Pete Zeller. 3rd is Carl Brown. And Forsch is in 4th rather, and Brian Terry is going to come in 5th. Woo! We're going to go to a commercial break and be right back and talk to our top 3 finishers right here in Kansas City. Be right back, folks.
I felt it all at the hall, where it's a cool 33 degrees.
We experienced it all at the hall, where my son became the fastest man ever.
I relived it all at the hall, where my grandson asked me, "Did you really do all that?"
Experience high-octane fun during NASCAR Hall of Fame's Cure for the Common Summer, presented by Coca-Cola. Hey race fans, it's Carl Edwards, driver of the number 99 Aflac Ford Fusion with your eye safety tip of the week. Did you know that 90% of eye injuries can be avoided simply by wearing the proper ANSI approved eyewear? More than 1 million Americans have lost some degree of sight due to eye injury. That's a risk that I'm just not willing to take. Go to wileyx.com to find a dealer near you and to learn more about the first premium performance sunglass company whose entire product line meets occupational safety standards. That's wileyx.com. Wiley X. Safety never looked so cool.
Does a real race car have a center post? Of course not, and neither should your race rig. The R-Seat Evo V3 with its unique design has no center post. The R-Seat Evo replicates what you would be accustomed to in your daily driver or something you may take to the track. It can accommodate drivers from 4'11" up to over 6'6" tall and is pre-drilled for all of the major wheel manufacturers on the market today. When it comes to performance, look no further than the R-Seat Evo V3. Check out the R-Seat Evo and other sim racing equipment by heading to www.rseat.net.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Kansas Speedway. I got it correct. My producer in my ear has been yelling at me all night, joking around that he has got the world's biggest blooper reel on me. And you know what? He probably has. Let's get down to it. Let's talk to some of these guys. Starting with our third place finisher, Carl Brown, in the number 41 tonight. Carl, kind of a weird race here tonight. It didn't look like you had anything, and then pulled out that top 3 finish.
Well, I had a good teammate in Dylan Lee that, kind of brought the car. No, I'm just messing with you with all the NASCAR controversy. I was going to make a little joke. But, it was a long race, long green flag run, except for that one caution. Just the luck of the draw. Pete and David didn't pit. And me and Mitch come down and got tires. So we were able to hold the corners better than they were and just lucked out and was able to come in third.
Kind of a wild ride for you the whole night. Looked like you were and Brian Terry swapping positions.
Yeah, longer the run got, the tighter and tighter the car got, and the only way around this track is really with these cars here is at the top line, and you have to constantly be on your tippy toes going through them corners, or you're just going to brush the wall. And there's a couple of times, several times I hit the wall, and and Terry hit the wall, and that was one of the reasons why we're constantly battling so much, because he would hit the wall and I would gain speed off the corner and pass him, and then I would hit the wall and back and forth. So overall, it was still a good race, though.
Anybody you'd like to thank for this third place finish there, Carl?
Well, I'd like to thank y'all for putting it on tonight, and Mylan for allowing us to have the series in the West Pro Series, along with Rick having a joint venture with Noble on it. And I'd like to thank my sponsors, Pro Bull Riders Association, Cowboy Up, and Tractor Supply.
Well, Carl, a great night for you. Probably not what you were thinking it was going to end up being, but a great night nonetheless. A great night in the points, and congratulations on your third place finish.
Thank you.
That's where you were for. Oh,
going to go down to Ian Adams right now, who's got the second place finisher, Pete Zeller.
Yeah, Pete, we jumped you a little bit there, but as Byron just said, you are our second place finisher for tonight. Brought it home. Second. Seemed like you had the car to win it there near the end, and just not sure what happened there on that final restart. What did you see from your position?
That was a wild one. Me and Mitch were talking about it. We agreed that me and him were the class of the field, and he thought that was a little bit better than him. The first one really wasn't bad. The first run was really bad for me. I just didn't go. I hit the wall a couple times, and that got me behind to go from the front. And then, each pit stop I moved up further and further and got closer to Mitch, and I got my way up to second. And after the last pit stop, I took 3.4 gallons of fuel. I thought, if I do this, I might run out, but it's my only shot to win, and I'm not in points, so I was here to win. So I just did that, and then that caution came out, and I thought that was going to be our saving grace. And when Mitch pitted, I was just like, he did not do that. So I just took the outside line, and I thought he was going to restart fourth at first, so I thought I was really screwed, but he ended up third because Brian Terry pitted, and I just ended up making my way up through the pack and on the restart. I had a really good restart. And I have to apologize to David Forbes. I didn't mean to put him in the wall there. That was just hard racing, and I respect him for backing off and not wrecking me. Thanks, David. I didn't mean to do that. And then he just got in 3 and 4 better than me, and I knew it was going to be a drag race, but he had fresh tires, and it was no match for my left side tires out the whole race.
Well, thanks, Pete. I thought I had another question, but I think you answered all of them there. So,
have a good night.
Anybody you'd like to thank for tonight for that second place finish?
I gotta thank David Ford for giving me that room, Jonathan Cheeseman, my spotter, and JP Windleschiltz.
Well, Pete, it's good seeing you bring it home second, and thanks for coming up here. Mylan, I believe you have our winner down there in Victory Lane.
Indeed, I do, Ian. I have what I want to nickname this guy, Mitch Lennon, the professor. Mitch, you have put a schooling on these boys tonight. Congratulations for that win.
Thank you. I was doing good there. I was pretty nervous there on that last caution. I was thinking I was a sitting duck if I didn't pit, so I pitted and went back a few spots and only had one lap to get her done.
Mitch, that was a tremendous drive. The whole night was great. You put a schooling on these guys. Your average lead was about 8 seconds. Up until the last part of the race, you looked like you had this wrapped up in the bag, and then a caution came out. What was going through your head?
Well, like I said, I figured I was a sitting duck. If I didn't pit, I knew I was going to be in trouble. I figured I had to pit, and luckily, either way, if they didn't pit, they were going to be in front, but I knew I'd be a lot faster, but I only had one lap to get it done, so it worked out.
Yeah, that last lap there, Mitch, as you blasted through the field from third place to get that lead, that was a tremendous move beforehand. Did you have that plan, or was it just a spur of the moment thing?
No, actually, I thought it was all over because the leader there, he started on the outside and he got a pretty good jump there on me to take off on the start, and I didn't think I was going to be able to run him down. Got through the 2 cars that were in front of me pretty quickly to get to the leader, and made my way around him on the bottom side of turn 3 and 4, and it's all over then.
In any regards, Mitch, it was a great race for you tonight. Anybody you'd like to thank for this win?
Everybody at West Pro for racing me. I've had pretty good luck racing with you guys. Everybody races me clean, and had some pretty good runs.
Well, Mitch, thanks for joining us here tonight, and congratulations for that first place win, a tremendous win, and we'll see you here next week.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Ian, we thought that this race was going to be just a caution-free race. Mitch Lennon was going to run away with this, and then caution came out and about and kind of turned everything around.
Yeah, but even with everything getting turned around like that, Mitch was still able to come down and get those tires and get back out, run back to the pack and still get that win. So dominant performance gets him the win tonight, and good to see him down there in Victory Lane.
All right, folks, let's look at the results here for the Diecast Competition Grand National Series. Oh, wait a minute, I got that one wrong too. My producer is going to have a field day, and I'm sorry, Rick. God, Competition Diecast Grand National Series. I got it right that time, didn't I? Didn't I, Matt? No, they're still giving me a bad time, and you know what? I deserve it tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Mitch Lennon runs away with this one, wins this one as he comes home first. Pete Zeller, second place. Carl Brown in third. David Forsch in fourth. Brian Terry in fifth. Andy Kessler comes back to grab this one to sixth place. Dylan Lee with his problems there at the last minute, coming home in seventh. And that about does it for the field here. Taking a look at points real quick here. Brian Terry loses 2 points to David Forsch, as there's no change whatsoever in the top 5 point standings. And David Force did exactly what he needed to do to try to grab this. He gained 2 points, but 2 is better than nothing, right, Ian?
Yeah, 2 is definitely better than nothing, Mylan. And for some of these guys like Dylan Lee, get caught up in that wreck, it's not going to be a good night. But luckily, with a small pack, you should be able to claw his way out of it.
And we're going to wrap it here from Kansas before I say any other bloopers. Kansas Speedway. We're going to wrap it up here before I say any other bloopers because I know our fearless producer, Matt, has got a blooper reel like you wouldn't believe, ladies and gentlemen. For Ian Adams and Matt, this is Mylan Lacey saying good night, and we'll see you next week for the Grand National Series.